Well, good evening. Good evening. My family and friends, this is definitely your friend, King David D. I think about the message that I left last night about how we are we're not really getting the picture. We're not really seeing uh, where the problem is. It's easy to see what's taking place in our community. That we want everything to be perfect. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Not a thing wrong with that. You know, but standing in the way of anyone else's probability of having the possibility of success is taken or going a little bit too far and unnecessary. I mean, wow. What is it going to benefit you? You know, we are all our Father God's children. And we all know wrong from right. It was something that, we were speaking in our high priesthood meeting that we had today when I was in church. And well, actually, that wasn't the topic that I spoke about in high priest. It was my Bible study correction. And I was speaking in regards of, you know, how people get confused about exactly what is going on in our community. Are we really seriously trying to look at it as for what it really is? You know what I'm saying? You hear kids will say, well, mommy, daddy, or big sister, whatever the case may be, and say, well, why did Eve, why did she do what the devil said? Well, it's just as simple, because we must let them know the real that God gave us the ability to choose right or wrong. Now, that is the catcher right there. Right or wrong. Now, see, there are so many of us in this secular existence that will say something is right when it's actually wrong. And in the back of their mind, they know it's wrong. Just like our president, he knows why is he stepping on them poor people, them poor young people that had nothing to do with being born in the United States of America, right? He knows that's wrong. He knows it's wrong. You don't kick Americans out of America. Come on. Come on. Right, wrong. But see, this is what's wrong with us today. We will take something that is right and look at it as being wrong. Yes, this is our problem in this country today. Now think about this one. Weapons of mass destruction. He knew it wasn't no weapons of mass destruction over there before he went and blew them people up. He knew it wasn't. See, but then we have people that are fans of certain individuals in this country, and then if their person that they are a fan of and that person does something wrong, they will think and think and think. Oh, he had a reason for doing that. Or she had a reason for doing that. Yes. That is a prime example of having the freedom to choose what we know is right and what we know is wrong. I mean, we will sit all day long in that one particular spot and say to ourselves, that he had a reason, or she had a good reason. I don't know what it was. Trust me, neither did they. Spiteful, mean, cruel. We think about back in the 70s, when we think about gangsters, pimps and players, right? Now, you think about when you was young, you wouldn't want no gangster going with your sister. Hey, and if he was a pimp, you'll lock your sister up to keep her from messing with that thug. And let's not even go there about our mamas. We know it was wrong, but then that is what we choose as our occupation, right? I'm a gangster. I'm a player. I'm a pimp. But see, you playing somebody's mama, you playing somebody's sister, you playing somebody's cousin. But if it was your cousin, your sister, your mama, you ready to go to war. You want to be that because Hollywood says that is the thing to do. Is that a lie or is that true? I know it's true. But even our women was confused back then also. Because see, back then, if you was not a gangster, if you did not go about the streets as a pimp or a player, he was not admired by a lot of some of the most sexiest and prettiest women that walk the streets. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And see, think about yourself before you think about me. Everyone knew when I was growing up, when I was coming up in that era, I wasn't trying to be no pimp. I wasn't trying to be no gangster. I wasn't trying to be no player. I mean, I went out just like everybody else. I was not known as a pimp. I was not known as no player. I mean, maybe somebody wanted to draw that picture of me because, see, one day I remember I had just got out of the hospital. And one of my chore providers picked me up, came and got me from out of the hospital. And one of the kids was in the back seat and said, I heard him talking about, oh yeah, David Dixon, I know him. He was a pimp. I didn't take the credit for it then. I never glorified it. I really didn't. I knew it was just a silly kid game, portraying yourselves as being something that was, come on now, let's be for real, demonic. Pimps, demonic. Players, demonic. Gangsters, demonic. It was. Nothing but the devil. I like to get out there on the dance floor, do my thing, have fun. As a matter of fact, when I would go in the bar, from the time I walked in the door to the time I find me a table to sit at, I'd have women all the way from the door to the place where I'm going to sit, making me promise them that I would come and dance with them before the bar closed. They can tell you that. You will hear that all day long. Now, that's the honest to God truth about me, King David D. Now, we need to say what we mean if we mean what we say. Because if you don't want nobody doing it to yours, don't you do it to somebody else's. Right? Do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. Right? It's only right. It is only right. And no matter what, still right today, I am not the pick of the crop in my community as being looked upon as the most eligible and desired bachelor. Because the saying goes, and I know it's true because, see, here I am. I'm an old man now, and I have not changed. Good guys come in last. That is true. It is so true. I mean, I'm living proof of it. Good guys come in last. And you are not, regardless, I mean, our our black women would say that they're looking for a good man. They want a man that is a godly man, and all that talk is so cheap. And if that godly man got big cash money, got money going on, then she'll get with him. But him just being a spiritual believer in the Almighty, a man with morals and proper standards in life, he will be the very last to find him a wife. So, hard pill to swallow, but it's one of those pills that we do have to swallow if we are one of those individuals. If we are among your peers, your friends, your cousins, and your brothers and sisters, known as a good guy, you are not someone that they would represent. I mean, they may say, um, my cousin, he's a good man. But they're not going to say, do you want to hook up with my cousin that's a good man? it's not it's not going to happen. My friend is a good man. You want to hook up with my friend who's a good man? Not sellable. It's not a that is not a commodity. If you know what I'm saying. But good girls, oh man, we are tearing the doors down to get us a good girl. All of us men, we want a good woman. Just the opposite with the good woman, though. She may say she want a good man, but that ain't what she's going after. When she say good man, she mean good looking. Good looking, but not necessarily with the good characteristics. Hey, think about it. And then you will see that same woman that said that she was looking for a good man, and she had a good man, and she just don't know what happened to him because he wasn't no good when you got with him. You was telling yourself a lie. Is what it was. You was telling yourself a lie. That is what it was all about. You know, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit about what I was talking about last night in regards of how we look upon one another in our community, you know, and and how we say one thing, but then we actually do just the opposite. And for some reason, we we haven't figured out how to break free of that catastrophe. how to break free of that self-destructive capabilities in which that we have, that we see, that we want to do, what we want to think, and what we want to say each and every day. I've been on this earth over 60 something years, and I have seen it happen again and again and again and again. And one of the craziest things that, come on, people, let's get real, okay? Let's get down to brass knuckles, okay? Let's be for real. Those of you know me, I'm not such a bad guy. I might be a little silly at times, in which that may not sit well with some people, because just like my nieces and my nephews, and they tell me, Uncle David, ain't none of your jokes funny. When you tell jokes and you start laughing, I don't see anything funny. So that could be. Probably because I see a lot of things that they just can't see. That really tickles me, because we have done it year after year after year after year. And then we wake up and find that we are still here. In that same spot that we have been trying to break free of. It's like, I wrote this thing that I put online, and I tell about how for years and years, back in the early 70s, when I was sincerely trying to, find me some diligent employment, okay? And some may say, David, you telling a lie, but they know I'm not. There was so many of my family members that worked at Upjohn's. They say they was not helping each other out or giving anybody references or telling someone to use my name or any of that. The whole thing with that was I couldn't even get an application. Hey, take me out there so I can get me an application. You get out there how I did. Okay. Well, let me use your car. You really done lost your mind now. But let it be somebody else in the family asks, David, you telling a lie. No, I'm not. And not only that, I couldn't get anyone to bring me an application. So far as somebody taking me to go get an application, that was out. And then bringing me one, you can forget about that one. And, and I was constantly going in and out of jail for child support. I'd be sitting in jail, just busting up a storm thinking, why am I locked up for child support? I'm not going to get a job in here. Why you keep locking me up? It happened, folks. It really did. hmm and then this one right here is really going to get you. Where I am supposed to be embarrassed. No, I'm not supposed to be embarrassed. Society is supposed to be embarrassed. My family members and my friends are supposed to be embarrassed that I went not to jail, to prison for 5 years for a pound of hamburger. Man, I wouldn't tell nobody. Yeah, that's you. I wouldn't tell nobody that. Yeah, that's you. Because I don't think that I should be ashamed of anything. I think society should be ashamed of the system. I think my family and friends should be ashamed that they didn't give me a helping hand when they knew that I was struggling then. I'm not ashamed. Me and my family was hungry. Me and my girlfriend. Well, she was my family because I was living with her. You know? So, yeah, she was hungry. She asked me, could I go and get some food? The only thing I was ashamed of was I couldn't tell her that I had any money to go and get some food. So, being the man that I was, going to provide for my family the best way that I knew how, without making myself look or feel small, I went out and I put my life, my freedom on the line to make sure that my girlfriend, children could eat. So, yes, I am not ashamed of it. But that's no here or there. That happened back when I was in my mid-20s. You know, yeah, I was in my mid-20s. But still, I still pay for it because, see, that felony is still following me today. Yes. And here I am, 60 some years old, and the felony is still following me. But see, where here's the real getting part right here, where all my friends, my families and friends and stuff, they're retired. They're retired. I could for years I tried to get on disability. Man, I'm trying to tell you, you don't have enough money stored away to be able to get disability. So this is how I know that the devil is strong here in Kalamazoo. Because see, I had to leave the state of Michigan to be approved for disability. State of Michigan, yes indeed. Well, enough about me. I just wanted to get on here and share a little bit, of why I see the things the way I do. Because it still doesn't stop King David D from saying that. I love you. Do you love me?